Round of applause.
Hey guys. All right, to me, wealth is much more than about money. I mean, you can talk about, what's the distinct between wealthy and being rich? I mean, really, it's about state of mind. It's terms of psychology. I mean, it's much more than money in the bank. It's much more about what you have as far as pure assets. I mean, let's talk about it. It's not really psychobabble. I mean, as far as investing, I mean, as far as wealth is concerned, I mean, you really care about, it's much more from a psychology aspect than from, say, the financial aspect. And guys like Don LePree, back from the 90s, if you remember, he was all about, you can make more money through classified ads. But really, from your perspective, he made him rich, but not you rich. So let's talk about being rich. The average person in the world makes about $7,000 annually. But yet, the United States would make $46,000. So let's talk about, that actually puts you in the 1%. So whether or not you realize it, you're actually in that 1% already. And we might be richer as a society. And we have things 100 years ago, from 1930s, Dick Tracy had a wristwatch that now we have an iPhone that parallels that. But, I mean, my question to you guys is, are we much richer? What, in the next 100 years, how can we be richer than what we are currently? How can we improve society? How can we actually make ourselves richer in terms of, are we actually, how can we improve prevent heart disease? So we might be richer, but are we actually wealthy? And during the CDC reports, the most thing we prescribe is antidepressants. And this statistic is from actually 2007, before the recession. And to me, wealth begins within the mind. So to me, you shouldn't compare yourself to others. You should compare yourself to, say, the Joneses, because the Joneses are broke. So to me, what's important is improve your psychology towards money. How do you
All right, man.
First step is to be gratitude. So from my understanding, you have to understand and be thankful, grateful for what you have. The next step is to be productive. And that means really give more than you actually expect to receive in the end. All right, guys, I'm sure you want the real steps. Let's talk about the difference between being rich and being wealthy. I mean, being rich is actually pretty easy. Being wealthy is actually much more, again, in terms of psychology. It's pretty easy. There's really 3 steps. It's emergency savings, financially free, and then you're finally rich. And it's really relying on yourself first and others second. Yeah. All right. So most people have about 3 to 6 months in savings. Once you get to that point, you're only about 28% of the population has that. But I mean, for you, most people in this audience, I assume, have it already. And once you get to the next point, you're actually financially free. And it's really not that much money. It's about $70,000 to $80,000 annually. And once you get to that point, you're literally made of money. You get to a point where you have 4 to 6% you take out of your net worth. You can literally outlive your savings. You're made out of money. But again, will that really make you wealthy? You might be rich, but are you actually happy? In the end, are you actually feeling like you're wealthy? Are you feeling you're being productive? And interestingly enough, Fidelity had a study recently where $3.5 million was the average net worth. They needed $7 million to feel wealthy. So it's all relative in the end. One person might think they're pure, the other person might be wealthy. So it's again not about things. It's not about the things you own. It's about the state of mind. And again, you might be wealthy already, just not realize it. It's the state of mind.